The PS5 is outselling the Switch 2, Death Stranding 2 could be launching on PC sooner than we think, and Destiny 3 is apparently in early development. Let's break everything down with the 10 biggest stories in the world of PlayStation this week. Hello there everyone, it's Aaron here from Push Square, and yes, this is your weekly roundup of all things PlayStation, where we break down 10 of the biggest news stories, along with other things like PS Plus updates, discounts on the store, the latest reviews to drop on pushsquare.com, and the newest releases heading to PS5 this week. Let's get right into it then, by starting with story number 1. The Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake is supposedly coming out as early as the 16th of January. That comes from Insider Gaming's Tom Henderson, who has elaborated on previous rumours that it was launching around mid-January. This game was announced 5 full years ago, so finally it's making its way to PS5 it seems, and I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw some kind of announcement or re-reveal at the Game Awards this year. The PS5 has managed to edge out the Switch 2 in UK sales. That's according to a report from The Game Business, which claims that despite a 15% drop on year-on-year sales, likely due to price hikes with the PS5, it's managed to hold strong over the Switch 2 on the run up to Christmas. Now, last we heard this was coming up in about 90 million units sold. It's going to be striving towards that 100 million milestone, which probably will be hit within the next year, probably before GTA 6 arrives in November next year. Anyway, next up, an ESRB rating has indicated that Death Stranding 2 on the Beach will launch on PC sooner than we originally thought. Now, Death Stranding 1 was on PC around 8 months after its initial launch, and this is a little bit different from your regular PlayStation first-party exclusive, because they usually come around 2 years later, but this is owned by Kojima Productions. It's their intellectual property. But if it were to arrive somewhere around Christmas, that would be the 6 months mark. I don't think too surprising, but yeah, 6 months of console exclusivity potentially. Next up, Destiny 3 is allegedly in extremely early development, but could be a tentpole game for the PS6. Now, Destiny is in a bit of hot water at the moment. It has its Star Wars expansion launching this week actually, but the player counts are at an all-time low, so really a lot of players are looking towards what is next for Bungie outside of Marathon. Well, according to Destiny leaker and data miner Colony Deeks, preliminary work has begun for Destiny 3, meaning it's still some time away. But yeah, I think this is exactly what the Destiny community needs. I'd be very interested to see what they do with Destiny 3. Next up, more general news and specifically PS5, but I thought it was quite interesting. Cyberpunk has topped 35 million sales. Think back to when this game launched around 5 years ago. It was about 5 years ago, wasn't it? Not in a great state. Absolutely panned across the board, but consistently great updates, and eventually the really amazing DLC that was the Phantom Liberty has led Cyberpunk to become one of the greatest sci-fi RPGs in recent memory. And yeah, this is a really cool milestone for them, 35 million units sold. Going from one game that was critically panned at launch to another, although will this be the same redemption arc, who knows. We have Mind's Eye, the mega flop from Build a Rocket Boy. Now, it's released a so-called free starter pack on the PS Store. This is basically an extended demo featuring a full campaign mission and a bunch of Arcadia missions and challenges. The devs have also implied that this will be continually updated, so the demo will, you know, have more reason to go back to it, I suppose. But yeah, this is a weird one because Mind's Eye was supposed to be this evolving platform. It launched with a campaign that was, I mean, incredibly bare bones. I reviewed it for the site, I did not like it. But we have just seen the release of Arcadia last month, which is all of this sort of user-generated side content, so I don't know, maybe it's worth checking out now that this free starter pack is launched on the PS Store. Next up, Noriaki Okamura, producer of Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, has said in a recent interview that he's interested in revisiting Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriot. Now, this was in an interview with Real Sound where Okamura said that we might work on another remake or we might try and create something entirely new, but he then goes on to say that he personally is hoping for MGS4, but acknowledges that the PS3 coding does make it a challenge to port. So will this one be out of PS3 jail? Who's to say? People were being whipped into a frenzy this week when Geoff Keighley started teasing some sort of cryptic announcement ahead of the Game Awards, posting this image with the caption "Regal, inspiring thickness." Now, initially people started to speculate that this may be the long-rumoured God of War Egypt project. However, the Game Awards account then posted this image of the location. People of course found it, and upon closer inspection it's looking more likely that this is going to be a DLC for Diablo IV, with the look of the demons tying into Blizzard's game. Now, I really like Diablo IV, but I actually missed the last DLC, Vessel of Hatred. Are you excited for this? Let me know down in the comments below. Next up, Gran Turismo 7 will receive a significant overhaul on both PS4 and 5 on December 4th, along with its first paid-for expansion, the Power Pack. GT7 Spec 3 though, which is the free update, will include 2 new tracks, 8 new cars, Dunlop tyres, data logger, a collector level cap increase, unlimited car invitations in Brand Central, enhanced weekly challenges, a new opening movie, a new menu book season menu, new events in the circuit experience, a new curation in Scapes, and improvements to online races. Now, this is quite the update for GT7 fans. And lastly, Sony's Japan-only model of the PS5 recently launched, and it quadrupled the sales of the PS5 in Japan. Now, accounting for roughly 2 to 3 days of sales, there were exactly 23,381 purchases of the PS5 Digital Edition in Japan through until the 23rd of November. PS5 sales the week before slumped to just 5,855. Not too much of a surprise, as this new model isn't just region locked to Japan, but it's also cheaper than the regular digital edition of the PS5. But anyway, that's it for your news. Let's move on to PS Plus. Now, we've got the Essential games launching on Tuesday the 2nd of December, and this is actually a really big month for PS Essential. The free games of the month are LEGO Horizon Adventures, Killing Floor 3, The Outlast Trials, Neon White, and Singuality Echo of Ada. These games will be available to redeem from the 2nd of December all the way until the 5th of January. So be sure to get those ones in your library. Next up, discounts. If you're watching this on the day it comes out on Monday, you have until midnight local time to catch any of those last minute Black Friday deals, but not to worry if you can't, because the end of year sale has now begun, and that's got, of course, a bunch of new discounts on the PlayStation Store. Reviews for the week, we've actually only had 3 reviews go live on pushsquare.com. Obviously, we're kind of quieting down a little bit with a lot of the big releases, but this week we had Marvel Cosmic Invasions coming out with an 8 out of 10. That was reviewed by Sammy Barker, who called it Marvel's most fun beat-em-up in decades. Pulse was released on the PSVR 2. I reviewed this one. I gave it an 8 out of 10, and this is a really niche horror, but a great showcase for the PSVR 2. Lastly, Stephen Tailby reviewed Morsel and gave it a 7 out of 10, calling it a gross roguelike that is tastier than it looks. Lastly, let's get on to the new releases of the week. Starting off, of course, with Marvel Cosmic Invasion, as I mentioned, on the PS4 and 5. 1st of December. If you're watching this right now, it's already out. Destiny 2 Renegades is the Star Wars expansion for Destiny 2. It's dropping on PS4 and 5 on the 2nd of December. Let It Die Inferno is this kind of weird roguelike. It's dropping on PS5 the 3rd of December. Then we have Thief VR Legacy of Shadows, Vertical Games' latest PSVR 2 title, on the 4th of December. And lastly, Octopath Traveler 0 on PS4 and 5 the 4th of December. Those are the 5 biggest releases of the last week. And that's it. Thank you everyone for watching. Do let me know what you're thinking about the latest stories down in the comments below. And while you're there, please do consider supporting the channel by liking the video, and even better, subscribing to the channel for more PlayStation video content just like this. Anyway, that is it from me today. Thank you as always for watching, and until next time, I've been Aaron, and this has been Push Square.